throwback hat on, you know. I got some stain on it from when I was working on a house out near Lake Tahoe. That was super fun. Sit down, you're not gonna do this again. Sit. Daddy's still trying to enjoy his coffee. You know the routine. You know the routine by now, you silly crazy girl. Yeah, we already went outside once, and then Daddy's gonna drink his coffee and do his thing and let the sun finish coming up. And then we'll go outside and play. Yeah. No sense we being cold out there. It is winter time, you silly girl. Sorry, I just had to do a little coaching with my dog over here because otherwise, you know, she's going to try to coach me into coming outside. So it's still a little early for that Daisy girl. Although there are other people out here, you know, doing their thing already. And oh man, this is so beautiful. I was just waiting for some people to dissipate out of my path here, so that way I could go ahead and give you all guys something. But yeah, much love, everyone. So thankful for this connection I got going on with everybody. And you know, we just here for the nice ocean view and, you know, this nice connection over coffee, if that's what you're drinking on right now. And, you know, my dog going crazy and things like that, Bob. Yo, you know, we gotta love Damon Darling. And if y'all don't yet know who Damon Darling is, yo, check him out. He is so funny. Oh, and such a good person, man. I love seeing other people out there helping other people, you know, because that's really what it's about. And oh, man, that was a good wave right there. Hold on. I can, right through here. Check out these waves coming in. Hold on. There's a boat out there in the water. Yeah, what's going on, yo? Much love, much love. Do you know who Damon Darling is? Hey, how are you? Hey, what's good, everyone? Do y'all know who Damon Darling is? Because I was just talking about that, and I'm like, man, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I was just saying, man, I love people like that in the world, you know, and to be 100% real, yo, if I had the money, like I don't have any money, but if I had the money like that, yo, I would be doing the same type of stuff and just helping bring us together, you know. I'm doing amazing, yo. I'm out here at the ocean. Yeah, it's so nice, yo. Let me show you around just a little bit more. I don't have nothing fancy, so it's a little at that. Not even one with a case on it, so this one's hard to control. But yeah, just wanted to. There's a lighthouse right up here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh, my phone's tripping. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's really amazing. You can't really see it from over here. I have to be at the other spot. The other spot that I was at yesterday, you can see it really good, the lighthouse up there. But yeah, this is where I'm at. You know, I'm surrounded by trees. It's so amazing. I love it. I love being out here. This is paradise, you know. So, you know, there's people and oh, look at that wave coming in. Nice. That's a nice wave there. But yeah, you know, we're just up having coffee and enjoying this global connection I got going on. And yeah, it's some good times, you know, that we're going through good times. You know, it's taking a lot of hard work to get here, and you know, maybe not everybody's um through the dark night of the soul yet, you know. But that's what I was stayed aiming at, and you know, right now I've pretty much pulled through, and you know, I just got this happiness that cannot it's not going away. It's just, yeah, just happy to be here and connected with a one infinite creator, and you know, that's what I owe it all to, 100%, you know, or God, if that's how you want to look at it. But yeah, and this you know, walking the path of Jesus, you know, that's really what it's about, and just trying to help other people. That's really my main focus, because I've been through so many things, and I've done so many different inner work, and just been on this path for a long time now. So you know, I have a lot to share with people. So yeah, it keeps me motivated to keep this up, and you know, hope that I can keep reaching people. So yeah, it's very amazing. Thank you all for showing up. Much love, everyone. Much love. You know, sending this positive energy from the ocean. Where I got here at the day before Christmas, and or no, was it the day of? It might have been the day of Christmas, actually. And anyways, yeah, we've only been here a short amount of time, but it feels like I've been here for a long time now. And we were here during the summer, but I was busy. You know, I wasn't as focused as I am now. So I'm I'm just gonna keep this focus going and not let the distractions of a job try to tie me down anymore. I've given enough time of my life to that. I started working young, real young, real young. So for me, yeah, right now it's time to shine. And yeah, working never made me shine like this. Money never made me shine like this. Money is not the real happiness, you feel me? And once you find this connection and practice being out with nature, and man, it's all good. You know, it's been a lot of hard work to get here. So many ups and downs, and so many ups and downs. But you know, that's part of the journey. So I just want to remind people that, you know, that's normal. A real true path of growth is not about. It's not gonna be easy. You know, it's not all about just, oh, it just all of a sudden happens. No, it takes a lot of work. You know, a lot of up and downs. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete that because I do not. I am the moderator, and that is not what my channel is about. So, all these trolls can, yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to respond with love and understanding, and but I don't want your dirty comments on my thing. Period. This is a positive based platform. And if you're gonna bring negativity, I have every right to kick it on out. Because this is to build something positive. No fear. No fear. Everything that I speak of is not anything to do with, it's the opposite of fear. It's taking back what's real, and not what they've been programming us into thinking, all this and that, and oh, they're gonna do this and that, and it's all just a bunch of games. Actually, the first good stream I've seen today. All this other nonsense is stupid. This is great. Thank you. Amen. Amen. Yes, I'm very focused on bringing you guys the real authentic content. You know, I got every real bone in my body. That's just how I grew up, because where I grew up, all you really had is your word. And if you had a bad word, you weren't going to have nobody there in your corner to help you when things get tough. And let me tell you, where I grew up was tough. You wanted people in your corner just in case. And with that being said, I always focused on being real, and that gained me way more people in my corner than you could imagine. Me growing up, I was on the right path already, but I just didn't have the proper guidance and the proper tools to apply myself to my real true purpose of being here. And now I got those tools. So now this light has been lit and I cannot get rid of it at all. It's this path that I've been on. Every time that I try to focus on work and this money distraction, man, every time stuff just keeps happening in my life, I'll lose stuff. Just lose stuff and people and just life. It just, man, it keeps trying to show you something, and you really got to pay attention because nothing happens by coincidence. Everything actually happens for a reason. So once you tune into that and you really focus on what life is trying to teach you and follow that, don't let these distractions keep putting you in places that life is trying to show you don't need. So for me, that was work. I started working at a very young age. Before I was even 13, but 13 is when I got my first official job. You know what I'm saying? I bought my first car at 14 years old. Bought my first four-wheeler by 15. My mom told me if I wanted something, I had to go get it. We was too poor for all that. So, yeah, I was thankful to have grown up that way and really, but right now, since I've actually been following my intuition and my connection with our one infinite creator, which I owe this all to, I owe it all to that. To our infinite creator, God, and to Jesus. Right now I'm on the path of Jesus. It's within all of us. It's for you to tune into, though. And that's what's the exciting thing that's about to happen with the sun. The frequency that will be coming from the sun here soon is it's literally density changing. We're going from third density to fourth density consciousness. And let me tell you, we got some very exciting times coming. Very exciting. I cannot stop sharing about this information because every time that I've tried to chill it and stop talking about this, and life keeps slapping me up. Boom, 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 boom. Slap, slap, slap. Get back on your mission, son. So that's what I'm doing. I got to stop ignoring those callings and those slappings and stop just turning the other cheek and actually focus. So that's what I'm now here doing. Yeah, I love this ocean view, yo. It's so good. It's amazing. And yeah, man, for myself, that I've been on this path of real growth for quite some time now, like literally over 7 years now, and over 7 years on this it's ascension information. That's really, really good stuff. Check out my playlist section. I think I'm going to make it a thing every single video until people start to get the hint that I have a lot of hidden gems up in my playlist section. I've spent many years putting all this together because I'm not a selfish person. I'm not focused on personal gain. I'm focused on service to others. That is my main focus. You can see it in the description of my channel. It's the first thing on there, you feel me? So that's really where it's at. And I pray more and more people dig into that and check out the different playlists for Ascension. And maybe you're looking for some new music. There's lots of good music in there, brothers and sisters. Lots of good music in there. Man, and music for different things. If you're going through different things, there's music in there for that. So yeah, check out my different playlist section. It's oh yeah, there's somebody's dog just out here chilling. Birds. This is like a dog beach. People bring their dogs here all day long. It's amazing. That's why my dog loves it here so much. We spent most of the summer here actually. And then I left for a while due to stupid distraction of money. And it didn't even work out. And that's what I'm trying to say. Oh, these things, everything happens for a reason. I up and left the ocean to go to the city for a job, and then it didn't even work out. Left me stranded in the city, being like, man, what did I do? So, it's very real. Everything that I speak of, I'm one that if I don't know something, I'll admit it, or I'll just, not even, like, people keep asking me about Israel. I'm not tuned into the news. I don't watch the normal news. My news comes from insiders. You feel me? I'm not in this distraction no longer. I haven't been for years now. Like I literally, unless it's to do with checking some weather real quick, since I'm out here, this is how I live. So, I got to check the weather. But other than that, I don't even do it on the news. I just do it on my phone, But yeah, so anyways, I can't really answer questions like that. But all I can do is send thoughts and prayers to everyone on this planet, during this time where, we're really going through our karma for not just this lifetime, but past lives too. That's what happens at the end of a solar cycle is you go through all this karma. All this different karma. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense because you're like, man, I've been such a good person. But it's not just with this lifetime, you feel me? Reincarnation is real. And we're burning off all of our karma from all of our lifetimes throughout this solar cycle. That happens every roughly 25,920 years, something around like that. Not exact number, Mother Nature does what it does. But that's the estimated how long it takes for the sun to go through the solar cycle. And it's a solar cycle, it's the sun. It has a cycle, just like everything. Everything really has a cycle. History repeats itself. You feel me? We have a cycle. So I went to the beach here in the Netherlands. Was cold, but no wind to stop karma. Yes, exactly. Forgiveness is the stoppage of karma. If you master forgiveness of not just everyone, but yourself, it really starts with forgiving yourself, because you really can't really forgive others until you forgive yourself, because otherwise it's just a self-reflection going on all the time. So if you learn to forgive yourself and then everyone, and also loving yourself and everyone, we're all family. We all come from the one infinite creator. We're all brothers and sisters in some way. You understand? We don't come from different creators. There's only one. So that's what's very real. And I pray that reaches people, because, faith used to be a touchy subject for even me. I tend to, I've always had faith, but sometimes it got very, very small. There were some times in my life where I was like, man, I don't know anymore. So where I'm at now compared to what I've actually been through is a blessing in itself, really. To have to go through a lot of different bad experiences in life and really see everything develop, realize that everything happens for a reason, and that bad things that happen is just here to teach us. You feel me? That's what this planet is. This planet here is the only planet that is still controlled by money. All the other civilizations out there that they say don't exist because we're not so, this third density consciousness isn't so smart. Yeah, we have these solar events that happen every cycle of almost 26,000 years, so we still build on the surface of the planet. Although we do have underground world too, because the people that are utilizing the underground world already know about this event and everything. And so, yeah, the advanced civilizations build Earth-like worlds underground. Like they can have it can be just like this, but underground. So that way they don't have to worry about the solar event destroying their civilization. But right now we're not on a catastrophic cycle. We're actually gonna not have a catastrophic cycle. It's not going to completely destroy the world or nothing. We have a positive ascension event coming. The real ones out there, we've already checked the score. We already know we won. We already know. There's more people that are standing on their faith right now with Jesus, which is within all of ourselves. That's something important that, this Christ consciousness, when it hits the planet, everyone's going to awaken to the Christ within themselves. So, there's many other people besides just myself that are already tapping into this. So it's very real stuff, man. And I love it. I because we've been under a negative control for so long now that, man, if we just continued to go the way that it's been headed, I mean, we can see based on their fear porn that they pump out everywhere, of what they show that they could do. Well, it's up to us to stand together and say no. You feel me? Like, we can peacefully do that. We don't have to get violent. We can peacefully gather. So that's really what it's about, is trying to build unity, because united we will stand. Divided we will fall. You got a fat bowl loaded. Thank the creator for such an awesome planet. Amen. Amen. I've only taken one toke today. This path of growth, I need hardly any more. I still do every day a little bit, but literally I average like half a gram a day. So that's a blessing in itself right there. I used to, I could smoke an eighth in a sitting back in the day, So, yeah, real growth, like that's what it's all about. And I pray that I can help other people, reach that growth too. Like I said, I'm not in this to be selfish. I'm in this to help us all achieve greatness, because that's really what it's about. It's not about this distraction of money. And man, so many people are lost on the money train, and it's sad. It's sad, and they live a selfish life, a lot of them. That's why I was giving shout outs earlier to Damon, darling. Much love, family. Much love. Man, what he does is amazing. Amazing. And I really hope to encourage other people that, maybe if your cup is overflowing, to look around and help some people in need. I've even given my last $20 here recently, right before Christmas. I gave my last $20 to somebody that needed gas. They were out of gas. And I'm like, bro, I've been there before, and like, that's I'm like, I'm right there with you, but here I was able, this is right before I came to the ocean. I was headed to the ocean and I'm like, man, okay, I thank, thank God for one of my YouTube subscribers. They had sent me some money to get to the ocean and I had a little bit left over. And so I gave that to them because they needed it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be big and it doesn't even have to be about the money at all. But, you know, I'm just saying to help other people through these times. Yeah. So if anybody at all could donate anything at all to us, it would be extremely amazing. It's just me and my dog here. And I have the links now attached to my channel. You can go to my channel description and my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal are all linked on here. And you can also hit me up on Discord, everyone. I have my Discord now linked to my channel here as well. So, yeah, thank you all for subscribing, those of you, and much love to everyone regardless. You know, it's a very beautiful thing that I'm creating here for us. You feel me? For us. So check out my playlist section. I'm telling you, yo, it's got stuff on there for everyone. It really does. Yeah, I'm chilling here. Oof, check out these waves. I lost it. I lost my phone, y'all. It went down. I just wanted to zoom into some of this waves for y'all. So yeah, you know, I never try to make it main focus. You know, sometimes I have all different kinds of content on here, all different kinds. You know, I've been through a lot of different situations in life, and so, you know, talking about sometimes, you know, sometimes I can't always go into major details, you know, because a lot of these events that have happened in my life, you know, are, yeah, I can't really speak a whole lot about them, but I always try to give a little bit of thought of guidance or whatever that if you go through these situations yourself, you know, so, but yeah, I've fortunately, you know, can't speak a whole lot deep into some of these situations. So sometimes, you know, I just kind of say what happened, but not really. Because, you know, that's just how I was raised, you know, not to speak about dirt and different things. And, you know, so anyways, you know, I learned from the last of the OGs in the game, you know, not to tell on yourself and stuff. So yeah, even though if it's in self-defense, you know, it's yeah, it's smarter just to keep it calm. But yeah, I mean, my dog is out here, and I think it's getting, the sun's starting to try to warm it up here. You know, it's been a little cold. Yeah, oh yeah. And that's what makes us stronger, you feel me? We all learn and we all gain things from these experiences as long as we view it with that perspective instead of just playing victim, you know, learn to actually learn from these experiences, you know? And that's really what it's all about. Like 100%, that's what it's about is learning. You know, that's what this planet is. This is the lowest density of human consciousness for a reason, right? This is for us to learn and grow. That's what this planet is. So, you know, once we graduate from here, life could be all kinds of different. You know, and I don't know, you know, I would love to go check out the other planets and, you know, be with them, like my cosmic family and whatnot. and revisit where I'm from. And my dog's going crazy. There's a dog out here she wants to go play with. All right, we're getting ready. We're getting ready. I need some better boots. I don't really have anything warm for the winter, so I don't like to go outside when it's still cold because my feet get cold and my hands get cold, and yeah, it's still chilly out there, girl. It's the end of December. Yeah, you can just calm it down. Well, America is definitely a different country than some of these smaller countries. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, there's so much violence in America. It's gotten crazy. I grew up with the last of the generation, and where I grew up, we still handled things with just simple squaring up. Throwing hands. If we didn't like something, then we would fight about it. And a lot of times, back in the day, we would be friends sometimes afterwards, sometimes, and yeah, so, sometimes that's the difference between how we used to handle things. Yeah, I had a little bit of, standing up for what we believe in, but then at the end of the day, we could learn from it, we could grow from it. What happens now is just disgusting. All these shootings and everything, it's all disgusting. We can't grow from that. So I try to encourage people to handle things in a better way, and that's why I like oh yeah, that one YouTuber, HBY Yerm, or yeah, HB Yerm or whatever. He goes around with boxing gloves sometimes and is like, yeah, just encouraging people to put on the gloves, pick up the gloves and put the guns down. You feel me? So that's what's real is, those of us that have grown up around it. I've grown up around guns my whole life, being where I'm from. But yeah, just trying to be a voice of reason out there, and instead of just crashing out all the time over just stupid stuff. So that's where my mission is a little different than, say, like David Wilcock, who hasn't really lived. We haven't lived the same life, So I love his teachings and everything. I love them and I apply them too. But I had my own experiences and everything because that allows me to reach different people. So that's really what it's about, is just reaching all these different people out there that I'm really trying to be a better voice out there for people. And I'm not alone at all. I don't take, I owe all that to our infinite creator, our one infinite creator, God, I owe it all to that and to Jesus, which is the path that I'm on. There's many others out there like myself. I already know I'm not alone. So, that's why I'm able to deal with any negativity that comes up on here and stuff. I'm able to deal with it. Sometimes certain things can kind of push my buttons, but I'm learning to deal with it even better. It's all about learning and growing. So that's where I'm at, yo. Dehumanizing is definitely not the way. Exactly. We got to, constructive criticism. We got to learn how to do that again. We got to learn to not to be afraid to give others, ideas of growth, as long as we follow those same teachings. We have to practice. If we're going to preach, you better practice what you preach. You feel me? So that's really what I'm about. Yeah, exactly. Giving and caring. Yo, that's part of the message, man. That's part of the message is to be of service to others and self. But they say, be 51% service to others and 49% service to self. You got to take care of yourself, of course, but by giving even more than what you got to others, that's where it's really at. I love it. I love it. I love every time that I'm in a situation that I can do that for people, which is why I've followed this path, and it's led me to be able to do that even more. I've been in many ghettos, and only one time did I need a gun. Most things can be solved with words or knuckles. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, myself, I've been in more situations than one that I needed one, but definitely quite a few more than one time. But that literally situations that that couldn't be solved luckily most of those I just luckily I had a laser sight, and that kind of put the that put the cap on the tripping, you feel me? Like, yeah, I'm like, bro, we don't want to go down this road, okay? Like, I've had to do that a bunch, but be the bigger person and be like, man, I really don't want to do this, bro. Just go about your business. But you're kind if you reached for something and you got something, and I guarantee if you up it, it will be your last, homie. But I do not want to live that way at all. So that's why I moved away from all that violence and stuff. And, I live in a much more peaceful place now. Yeah, yo. And I'm going to zoom out here because there's a person walking right up in front of my camera. But yeah, living it is louder than saying it, for sure. Always. Definitely. Man, when you can do both, that's when you can really, it enters the mass consciousness of the galaxy. you know there's a mass consciousness of the galaxy that we're in, and other ones as well. They all have their own mass consciousness. So everything we do affects that. So it's, yeah, that's why I love to focus on that. Just, and being a better person all the way around. Like Michael Jackson said, it starts by looking at the man in the mirror. We can make that change. Like, so that's, I hear you. Oregon is beautiful. Would definitely make a trip up there. Yeah, man. Oregon is definitely what's up, man. I love it here. And I love that, it's a lot more, there's Portland and things, and, it's not, nowhere's perfect, and we got the Democrats ruining everything and whatnot. But, overall, it's a beautiful place. There's not very much violence as long as you are not in the cities. And of course, you're going to run into little things, but from so far, my experience here in Oregon is, these people, they don't know that I've dealt with way worse things. And so for me, it's very peaceful here. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about others out here. And give me one moment. Much love, everyone. Beautiful outdoors, yeah. And give me one second. I need to go relieve myself in my bathroom here. Being by the ocean makes you got to, relieve yourself a lot more. right, I'm back. I'm back. My eyeballs were floating. I had to go take care of myself. I was starting to lose train of thought just because I had to go. You know, being out here, that is one thing about Oregon. You know, it's got really high humidity. Even if you're quite a ways inland, it's still gonna have a lot of humidity. And that was just recently inland, and man, the rain and the humidity and the mountains, you know, it was too cold. Too cold. So I'm like, man, if I'm gonna deal with the rain, I'm just gonna go back out to the coast because it rains here too. But you know, right now it just happens to be super beautiful out. You know, it's a little chilly in the shade. You know, out in the sun it'd be a little bit better. I probably should go, but the sun's coming right up my back here, so it'll warm up inside of my RV here. And yeah, you know, today I'm really praying today that somebody out there can help us a little bit. You know, we need a little bit of a blessing out there today. So I'm praying for that. That somebody can help send us a little something for food and gas. Right now, today I'm struggling on food and gas. I'm really low on gas. Like really low. So yeah, I'm just sending that thought out there. If anybody out there can help with anything at all, in the description of the video are my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal, but also linked on my channel here is my Discord, and it also has the link for all those Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal. The actual links are there now for all 4 of those on my channel, so you can just click. And yeah, I love to connect with people on Discord, so and you know, if anybody wants to chop it up on Discord, like I said, my link is there now. So I just recently, well, when my phone did a recent update, it allowed me the option to add the links now, because you know, that's all I really have right now is a phone. I don't have a computer and anything, so you know, I'm just making do with what I got and everything. And you know, as soon as I can find a cheap computer one day, you know, that'll really help. I cannot wait to find a computer to be able to make some different content with that too. Oh man, it'll be amazing. So yeah, I'm you know, I'm giving it all I got with what I got and then some. So, you know, one day I'll be able to bring all kinds of different content with having a computer and stuff. So, and yeah, I want to keep I would love to go do some hikes. I need to get a good camera that I can use, you know, to go on hikes and you know, bring people to waterfalls and whatnot out here. You know, there's all kinds of very beautiful places here. So yeah, I love to have nature talks because, you know, that's when my connection is the most pure, is when I'm out here with nature. It's a very healing thing. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. And yeah, that's another way, you know, me and my friend in Denmark, when we can, you know, I'm on the West Coast and he's in Denmark. And when we can, you know, we send to each other. So that is, PayPal is awesome that way, as far as being able to send outside of the country. So that's why, you know, PayPal can be an important thing if you're on a global connection. You know, it's all about helping each other. So, you know, anytime that I have a little bit extra, I always kick it back. And plus too, you know, I'm really focused on helping people with my content here. And I've also, you know, I do this I do this out in the real world too. For many years, in fact, I've only recently started making content. I used to just only do this out in the real world. I would speak to people about all this stuff out there, just people that I would meet, as a traveler. I've traveled many, many places. You can see some of my videos on, you'll see some of them have a thumbnail of the United States map with a bunch of different dots everywhere. And all those dots is just some of the places that I've been. So, yeah, I've been all over. Awesome. Yeah, keep bringing these awesome views. Awesome. I will for sure. Summertime is the only time I go up in the mountains. Yeah, I feel that. I know right now is not a good time to go to the mountains. Generally, it's not even a good time to be at the ocean here, but because there's a lot of rain. But right now, I'm blessed with some really nice weather. When I first got here, it was sunny and then it rained for a couple days, but the sun kept coming out, and then the sun just kept coming out, and now yesterday was absolutely beautiful here. You'll check out my videos from yesterday, and you'll see the lighthouse up over here, and like even from this morning, you'll see a different part of the ocean, and yeah. I move around as much as I can, and right now I'm just trying to find some gas because, yeah, I cannot run out of gas in my RV here. So, yeah, that's becoming a worry right now because I'm getting really low. Like today, I have to do something about it. So. I don't really want to go out there and like hold a sign or something, or like a gas can, or I do have a sign made up that says that I'm looking for work, like fixing people's cars. Just the other day I fixed somebody's truck. That's what helped me survive too. Is a couple days ago I fixed somebody's truck. Their battery was dead. And I looked at it, and I was going to give them a jump, which I did give them a jump. But first I fixed the wire that was broken that would cause their vehicle to not start anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm a really good mechanic, and they had a wire that was busted that went to their alternator. So I fixed the wire, I stripped the wire back and I fixed it the best that I could. I intertwined itself together and then wrapped it really good with electric tape. And then, yeah, so got him back on the road, And I love doing stuff like that, man. I love helping people. I have so much knowledge of so many different things. I've worked so many different kinds of jobs, So I have a really wide range of knowledge, that's really wisdom, wisdom, man. I owe it. I owe that wisdom to our infinite creator God, It's a blessing. It's a blessing in itself to just be able to reach people on a higher level. So that's what I'm really, really, really focused on. Especially these last few months, I've focused really heavily into embodying the mission of Christ. That's really what this is about. So that's why I love to share with others that you can do that too. And all the information to get there is on my channel, all of it. So that's what's a really beautiful thing is, I speak about it, but all the stuff to get you there that's above even just what I speak on, until I can get a computer, and then I can really open up. Oh man, once I get the computer, yo, I'm gonna make my own David Wilcock show. And it's gonna be amazing because I'm gonna be able to reach different people because I've been, we've been on a little bit different paths in our life, he comes from more middle class, I come from more poverty, father in prison type of, like that's how I grew up. So, for me, I'm able to, with this newfound knowledge that I've been on now since really about, I'm trying to pinpoint it, but around the time of 2017 now. So from 2017 to now, I've been on the same path. It's been a growing process, it's like I said, not easy at all. Oh, the opposite of easy, man. Oh man, and then I can't stress enough about how, but just to help other people too that are struggling, that just spiritually, or man, I've been there. I've been there. This newfound light has been from many years of working, and nobody's perfect. We all still got room to grow. That's what's so beautiful about life. No matter where you're at, there's still always room to grow. Amen on that. Networking is how you gotta do it. Yeah. Maybe some farms out there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely will do that. But I kind of want to make my own business cards, and as soon as I can get the money, I want to advertise like on Google about, I really want to just start my own business, and that's just focused on, helping people with, I know I've done roofing, I've done irrigation, I've done insulation, I've done all kinds of auto mechanics and tires and just all kinds of different things, all kinds. So for me, a lot of landscaping and different things. So yeah, I know that I have a good value to bring to this world, and all those things I just mentioned is just the bottom of it, and the spiritual pact is definitely on top, giving it all to our infinite creator, not trying to take responsibility for like even this channel, like it's where my focus wouldn't be possible without really having a connection with God and with Jesus, and man, it's taken so much work. I grew up in a Christian family, but religion is not the answer, and religion, a lot of religious folk are so judgmental, and a lot of times, they judge with hate and misunderstanding, and misunderstanding is a big deal. It's been a big deal for a long time, and so that's another exciting thing about fourth density. When we hit this fourth density, we're connected on a much higher level now, so we're going to be able to communicate different. This old form of communication, is not going to be relied upon. We'll develop our, telekinesis abilities, and it even says, even in the Bible though, but in many other places too, it says, there will be Daisy, come here. Why are you just? My dog is steady crying. We need to go outside. I know, baby girl. I know. My dog is tripping out. She wants to go outside so bad. Sit down, okay? We were just outside. You're outside all the time. So right now you're just being spoiled. So sit down. You're the most spoiled dog in the world. You go everywhere with me. You have food all the time and water all the time and toys and sticks and get to go venture the world with daddy. Yet you sit here and cry. Sorry, I had to talk to my dog for a second to give her a little coaching of how spoiled she really is. I grow buds for patients and make medicine. Nice. Yeah, I have a little experience in that. So yeah, gotta find a way to produce and give to someone in need. And yeah, and I have land too. So I could actually go about it in a legal way by becoming a provider. I'm almost done paying off my land. I owe like $6,300 on it left out of 15. So 15 grand, for 2.5 acres of very, very amazing land. I have lots of trees and some bushes and big, huge rocks on my property too, out on the backside. And it's surrounded by like mountains pretty much. So yeah, it's beautiful out in the middle of nowhere kind of. So that's really, once I can afford to finish paying it off, then I'm going to go back out there. But, I can't necessarily legally camp out there until it's paid off. Although you can get away with it. But I was out there for, I don't know, off and on for like 2 years. And then the beginning of the summer, I left because financially it got too stressful out there. And, trying to make my land payments and survive and make the hour drive to town all the time, just an hour one way, so for right now I had to leave, and it's been a journey because we were living out there for the most part. And then yeah, so now I'm on a new journey, and I'm just glad to be here though, and I'm glad to not have been wasting my money on rent for years now, because I quit. I started exploring years ago when I got off of my 5 years of probation that I did in Montana. And man, it really opened my mind. The tail end of probation, I realized how unhappy I was as I was renting an apartment. And even though at the end of my probation, I got off without even having a job, I was doing so good that I was just flipping cars. I was just fixing up cars and reselling them, and then I was surviving that way. And anyways, I ended up selling them all and just getting one car. And I got a nice 2000 Ford Crown Victoria LX, with the leather seats and the nice sound and nice wheels. Got 5% window. I put 5% window tint on it and everything. And yeah, it was just took off traveling, and it was a big enough car that I could, with just a pillow and some blankets, I could make a them cars are big, and I'm not super tall, so I was able to just kind of sleep in the back seat. And I had a tent too, though. I didn't just sleep in there, but when it was rainy, which oftentimes it was because I was in Washington a lot. I traveled like all of Washington State. Literally, it was amazing. Yeah, yo, I love even older cars, man. My first car was a 1986 Ford Thunderbird Elite Edition. It had the leather seats and the chrome wheels, the nice, it had the Man, it had these alloys on it that were nice and shiny, and they had like little holes. They had holes in them like around. They were really nice, and you know, it had the true dual exhaust from the factory, man. True duals from the exhaust manifolds back. You know, I was like, man. And then I got rid of the old mufflers and put some Flowmaster 40s on it, and got rid of the old tailpipe too, and just put turnouts before the rear tires on both sides. And oh man, that thing was stupid loud with that 5 liter V8. You know, it was actually the first year of. It's the first year in the Thunderbird that they used a full throttle body fuel injection. So yeah, it was a cool car, you know, and I ended up putting a stage 2 intake off of a Mustang on it. You know, it was a full length intake that went into the fender. It was really nice. And between that and the exhaust, and you know, advancing the timing just a little bit, you know, it was a decent car for what it was, you know. But I bought that when I was 14 years old. You know, it just needed an alternator, man. The guy that was selling it had you know, it was real close to where I grew up. I was walking my dog and I seen it, and I was like, yo, I want this car, man. And so I ended up getting it. And, but yeah, I've been a gearhead for a long time. You know, my stepdad, long story with my stepdad, but he re-entered my life when I was like 13. And, you know, I still hadn't met my real dad by then. But anyways, yeah, I did a lot of work on cars. I grew up street racing, so like I for real was all in the car culture, like hardcore throughout my teenage years and stuff. Like, man, we used to just drive around and street race all night and drift and, you know, take our cars off road too, sometimes through the mud and everything. And then by the time I was 17, I bought my first 4-wheel drive. You know, it's just a 93 Ford Explorer XLT. Man, I loved that thing though. That thing was amazing. It had the manual locking hubs on the front for the 4-wheel drive. So I actually had to get out and turn on my 4-wheel drive the old school way. So yeah, it was cool. I've had many vehicles. I've had so many vehicles. It's insane. Needing some breakfast a little bit, getting a little hungry, even though I usually don't eat breakfast. So right now it'd be more like lunchtime by the time I would eat. But yeah, I'm definitely getting there, you know. I didn't eat a whole lot last night. You know, my funds are getting really I don't have any, so right now I'm trying to raise a little bit of money to get some gas and food. And yeah, because I'm trying to get out there and find some more work. But you know, I want to focus on my channel, so I'm not going to work a full-time job again. I've had many interviews and stuff, and I don't know, you know, my mission is just what I'm doing. I'm on my mission now, so you know, if I every time I abandon that, I'm reminded. Trust me, I'm reminded that hey, what about your mission? No, hey, what more do I need to take from you before you finally realize? So I've been through it, and trust me, yeah, our infinite creator will take from us what we do not need if they are trying to teach us something. So, man. Okay, let's just delete that weird comment, because you just came in here. You don't even know me yet. I'm just over here having a good morning. And this is my second live stream this morning. Yeah, I already had a live stream once this morning. So I'm putting in work, yo. But trolls will be trolls. You know, God bless them anyways. And I pray that the Holy Spirit of our infinite creator finds all the trolls out there too, you know. I come at this with understanding and without hate and with instead love. So that's what happens when you're too wise for the old attacks. You know, all these old attacks come through and it's like, oh, hey, I've seen that before. Not just in this life, other lives and before this, you know, and not only that, but elsewhere too, you know, whenever hey, since I've been tuned into this really good information, you know, they get trolled all the time. And, you know, there's people that are paid to do that. So the truth behind it is there are certain, not every troll is paid, but there are lots of paid ones out there that literally get paid to go and mess with people like myself. So I don't know why some people don't like it, but I like the saying, you know, it is what it is, because that's when you realize that, you know, no matter what you do, certain things are going to happen regardless. So that's when it's like, you know, don't worry about the things you cannot control. I love that song by Soulja, SOJA, Soldiers of the Army. You know, they have some really good music. Yeah, I love Satsang too. Satsang is very beautiful. And you know, Stick Figure has got some good stuff too, definitely. And of course, Jurassic 5. What y'all know about Jurassic 5, yo? I gotta go eat. Stay up, brother, and stay blessed. Right on. My mom had a Thunderbird. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't see that. So I've seen a lot. Yeah, I grew up in the Midwest. Yeah. I did a lot of traveling in 2016 until 2020. Driving through. Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, I've been all over, man. It's nice. But all right, Joe. Peace and love. Peace and love. I need to go try to get me something to eat. So and some gas. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. But at first, I gotta let my dog out for a while, and you know, just I need to make some more coffee. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and try to get some resources up today a little bit, just a little bit of food and gas, and then yeah, I'll be back out here making more content. So much love, everyone. Much love, and I will be back soon. Have a blessed day, yo.